knowledge or perspective? Which is more valuable? And what's the difference? No matter how hard you try to pretend your perspective is your experience, no matter how much you want to be something else or share some other extra perspective, some externalized trauma loop in the mass psyche. What it is deep within you was forged in you when you were young, when you imprinted into this reality. And though you were programmed, you've had flashes in the stream, moments of clarity where the sun shined on you, through you. So perspective for me is far more important because it is a realization from a different angle of something that we all are experiencing. And in hearing different perspectives, you realize what resonates with you and what doesn't. It gives you boundaries of authority. It does many things. You know, the world is around us, and depending on where we're standing, that's the view we're going to see. I can look out this window, or I can just stare at the wall of the paintings. So I'm sharing my perspectives because I know they're different than many others. In the way I see it, it's simply about acknowledgement of your ignorance. So during my early imprints, I went through a lot of stuff, a lot of bad things. And so I was alienated from the world around me. I was pulled within. I was in the grip of something. And so in interacting with this world and interacting with other peoples, I was not present with them. I learned mimicry. Because when you are different, ignorance and intent is the lesson of the process you're in, and that's what you're learning. People are drawn to you for different reasons. And when you're young, when you're impressionable and there are other children, the intentions are very pure. They're part of the deep psyche, and those experiences resonate within you. And as they settle into you, as you begin to assimilate them, digest them, they express in the world in slightly less authentic, more veiled forms, because they're integrating multiple patterns. And so the statics have to be more malleable. The more further out into this world you go. And so when I was in the world with others, I was deep within myself. I got in a lot of conflict for that. And that was the Saturnian pull back to reality. So in my chart, Saturn is most aspected at my MC. And my Mercury is my least aspected planet. But since my Mercury is on my descendant, and I've lived on or near my Mercury descendant line for most of my life, my Mercury has been overdeveloped. And there's many ways to explain that. You can look at it from many angles. We all have those kind of things in us. But when you find words, when you find a language to systemize what it is you're experiencing, that's a powerful tool. And so I'm learning in this world. I'm caught in the grip of something. That's that Saturnian form. At the top of a grand fire trine in Leo, coming into balsamic phase conjunction with the MC or new phase, if you're looking whole sign or equal house system or whatever. I mean, we can interpret the same information from different perspectives, and this is why I think it's important to find a language so that you can identify the perspectives of your automatic loops in life. For me, it was researching shadow work, doing shadow work. I found an article on Jungian shadow work, and it referenced Scorpio Ascendant. I remembered I'd done a birth chart analysis years before, but I was in the grip of learning life, Identifying what's happening is of no value to me when I'm living it. So I banked that information. When it came back to relevancy is when I found it again, or it found me. And so that's why Western tropical astrology resonates with me. I come from that micro to macro perspective, the psyche, trapped in the loops, trying to understand, trying to release. So for me, it was astrology. For you, it may be something else. Maybe you need to be receiving something that's not a systemized perspective. Maybe you need nature. Maybe you need the feeling of life, swimming in a lake, a river, the ocean, laying in the grass, feeling the wind, feeling the sun, the rain. Maybe you need to write it all out. Maybe you gotta muddle through something in your mind so that you can get to what the feeling is. Maybe you have to set it and forget it. Just schedule it and do it. Maybe you just try and find a flow and go with it. I think once you find one thing, all the other things start to fall into resonance with your experience. That's how it's been for me. And so I'm a micro to macro perspective person. I'm a highly subjective person. I understand I'm delusional to an extent, and that everyone is. and that this entire world is an illusion, and it's not a literal, everything doesn't have to be conditioned to movie scale expectations. It is the subtle, the simple things in life where you find the magic, where you find all the actual guts of what's happening. So get to know yourself, and then you can begin to put the words to meanings in this world and move on to something you enjoy doing.